Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian, and as always, I'm joined by Dylan.
Yeah.
And as of the past, what would you say,
We're on a streak.
3 or 4 episodes, we got Maya.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Perfect.
Welcome.
We have, she has sat in and has joined us occasionally on our conversations, if nothing else, just to be a studio audience.
We're going through what I'm going to dub the Maya Myriad.
Yeah.
What you know about mythical beasts,
the Maya era. You had specifically requested this movie, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Be sure to talk into the...
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Speak.
No.
Raise your voice.
Oh, no, I just gotta get close enough to the microphone. If it doesn't, it cuts her off. I think I may have seen screenshots of... I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. We watched The Last Unicorn.
The final.
The final. This is a
Unicorn Overlord.
This is a 1982 animated film. And I think I may have seen like stills or screenshots of like the unicorn like on like out in the field looking at the moon or like, you know, whatever. But I've no like recollection of what the movie was about. So I think I just haven't been privy to the story of it. But I'm looking here on Google Images and like there's definitely a few shots that I'm looking at. Trees in the background, rounded hill, unicorns looking out at the moon. I'm like, I think I've seen that in the past. But anyways, I have this was my first time watching this film.
Damn.
And before I talk about my feelings about it, I want to know your guys' feelings about this.
You first.
All right. So, growing up with 3 sisters,
Yes.
I was exposed to many bits and bobs of shows and movies that I don't feel like a lot of other people would normally be subjected to.
Right.
I was outnumbered, you see.
Of course.
So, more often than not, whenever family movie night would come around, they had the majority vote.
It was fairies and unicorns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So, this being chief among them, like one of their favorites, I'm sure of it.
Right.
I had seen it a couple times, like way back when. This is the first time in a few years I've watched it.
Really?
Yeah. But, man.
It's been a while.
Yeah. It's something else. Like, it's style-wise, I could compare it to, like we had mentioned before, those old Lord of the Rings animated features of The Hobbit.
Yes.
But most of the animation work was done by a Japanese team.
Yeah.
I couldn't name specific names, but like you can see them all in the credits.
Yes.
And you can kind of tell with how everything moves and how everything looks.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, it's a pretty enjoyable watch, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice little trip down memory lane.
I remember you also talked about the fact that you've watched your fair share of Sailor Moon.
Oh, for sure.
From
Dude,
your sisters.
Don't even get me started.
No, I won't. But at the same time, I know exactly what you're talking about.
We'll tackle that ship another day.
Yeah. What about you, Maya? Was there do you remember when you first watched this movie, or has it just been a thing you've always...
Probably when I was a child. I don't...
Yeah. Have you
But
watched...
My mom showed me this movie.
Okay.
So I watch it at least once a year.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's
I love this
tradition
movie.
then.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome. Before I go off on my tangent like I always do, I did enjoy the film.
Yeah.
I did like it, and I want that to be the first thing everyone hears.
Right,
I did enjoy it. I did like it. I thought it was fun.
Right. He's got to butter it up first.
I have to butter it up nice. I have to say all the nice things first before I start saying my feelings.
Right.
I didn't realize this was like a musical, which sometimes I don't like musicals. Sometimes I do. It just kind of depends on the context.
Yeah.
This one, I didn't mind it so much. The music felt very 80s.
Yeah.
Which sometimes doesn't affect a film too much. But for this one, like I think, for instance, like I think of like certain Gundam shows we've watched that feels like it's animated in the 80s. So it feels like it has an 80s flair. So the music, I think, goes along with it.
Right.
This one, because it's like a fantasy piece, and it is like it's like stylized to be really interesting and that kind of stuff. The fact that a lot of like the music feels like 80s power ballads
Right.
kind of took me out just a
They
little
got
bit.
America.
It wasn't bad, and but I think the music was good.
Right.
Just sometimes there was a couple songs where I was like, man,
Some
this
were
doesn't.
definitely better than others at certain points.
Yeah. And I just think that's a personal preference. But the animation, man,
Oh,
they don't animate things like that anymore,
they just don't.
and it's really beautiful.
Like, I could name scant few examples of like recent stuff that's gone for the whole hand-drawn or hand-painted approach.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just not nearly as prevalent as it used to be.
Right. Now, this isn't like the most stunning animation I've seen.
Right.
There's like little quirks and little flaws with it, but like I think it gives it character and charm.
It's got heart.
Yeah.
It's got the grit.
Yeah. And I think I think some of that kind of like wonkiness kind of plays in its favor because it's also very beautifully done. Yeah. And I love that. And I think it's great. And I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
The parts that like I wasn't super thrilled on just because like it was my first time watching it, and I think I was probably being a little too critical of it, is like the story is a little bit hard to follow.
Yeah.
Just and not terribly.
Right.
But it's just a little bit like,
there's some cuts here and there that you're like,
huh?
when did you get you can talk?
Yeah.
The cat especially that came out of fucking nowhere.
And I love how, again, obviously, I'm not saying that we're not in a magical world where we haven't seen animals talk before.
Yeah.
But, like, we've seen a couple of shots of this cat, and then the first time it talks, the lady, who's just a normal lady, is like, now what are you going on about this
She's
time?
just
And I'm like,
this
this
has
time,
happened before.
this is the first time I'm witnessing this cat, which, may I say, has a peg leg
and an eye patch.
And I didn't immediately assume it was a pirate cat,
Right.
but then it starts talking like this.
Yeah.
Well, now, I'm like,
The scurvy vernacular.
and I'm like, not only is the cat talking, and we're acting like that's normal, but the cat's a pirate cat, and we're like doubling down on that being normal. That's funny. I like it. It was charming. A bit quirky.
Yeah.
But sometimes the kind of overarching story, I think, I don't know how I would make it any better, but I feel like the castle sequence draws out a little long, and I think it confuses some of the like development that takes place.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. It just like the movie, I feel like, ramps up to this peak, and then it plateaus at like the castle area, and then it gets to the conclusion.
Yeah.
And it's just this kind of weird, like, how long have we been here for? What's going on? What's happening? Like, why are we like stagnant here? And then there's kind of some development that happens, but like, that's just me being nitpicky and kind of like, again, but what was that? What was the lady's name?
Molly.
Molly, is that her name?
Molly Grew.
Molly Grew. Okay. Man, I didn't mind her character. I thought that she kind of came out of nowhere. There's a sequence where let me slow down. I would say like our second protagonist is a guy named Schmendrick, which I say wonderful name. He is a wizard magician character that is not as confident in himself, even though he has the ability to do magic. He doesn't quite feel like he's not adequate enough. And that comes into play later. Our boy Schmendrick comes across some ruffians, some outlaws, and then Molly is one among them.
Right.
And then after he does this elaborate diversion to kind of like disband them so that way he can escape back to go meet with the unicorn.
Right.
He runs into Molly in the wilderness, and then she's like chastising the unicorn in like a way.
This whole that's one of my favorite parts. Whenever she meets the unicorn for the first time, and is like, how dare you come to me now when I am this and not 20 years earlier when I was a fair maiden waiting to see a unicorn like everyone else.
Right.
Just the emotion of it is what got me mainly.
Right. I get that, but then there's also this like level of like aggression that like I wasn't quite understanding, especially from from the unicorn's perspective of like, I don't know who you are.
Right.
How about you chill out and quit yelling at me? I just got here. But that's just a me thing. So like immediately off the bat, like in that regard, I'm like, okay, step off. You need to Molly needs to cool down. And then she's like, I mean, she is instantly like, well, I'm gonna join you now. And he's like, there's no way. And like, so anyway, she just like she forces herself
the
upon,
number one unicorn fan.
Yeah, exactly. Forces herself upon the squad.
Right.
Barefoot, may I add. Had no idea. It was like great.
Some insane woman in the woods.
Yeah. Scraggly hair. A unicorn. I hate you. I mean, I love you. Like, okay, cool. Anyways, I like to pick on her a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But as the show progresses, I feel like there's she's one of those characters that it's hard for me to love a little bit because of like her dialogue options. I get where she's coming from, but maybe it's the delivery, maybe it's the timing of her lines. There's so many moments where she interjects and I'm like, lady, slow down and look at what's like take a gander at what's happening. And I guess I'm bouncing around. Obviously, we don't have to go through the whole story if we don't want to. But like the main story arc of this film is that the unicorn,
has been told by a butterfly.
Oh my God!
A little blue man butterfly whispered in her ear,
like the man.
You're the last of your kind. You're gonna fucking die alone here.
Yeah. And of course, she's like, I want some sort of. Oh gosh, dude,
right,
the butterfly.
Like, that's fucking impossible.
The butterfly pissed me off. The butterfly, I was like, she kept saying, she's like, I'm the last of my kind. I need help. What's going on? Who am I? What's happening? And he's like, hi, and like doesn't tell her anything, and then disappears. And I'm like, she's standing.
The one inkling of like quote unquote truth that he gives her is that a Red Bull has chased the entirety of her species away to the ends of the earth. Right. And she's like, all right.
What? Yeah.
What do you mean?
And then he disappears.
Yeah, he just fucking flies away.
She's standing there on this crested hill being like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
And I made the joke. I was like, I learned nothing from that conversation.
Right.
And but anyways, so like that's the whole plot point. And she's like, I can't be the only unicorn.
Right. She leaves her woodland charges.
Yes.
To find the rest of her people.
I must go find my people. And that's the main plot point. And I'm saying that because all these escapades take place, and of course we're making our way towards the castle,
right, of King Haggard.
King Haggard, played by Christopher Lee. By the way,
yes,
rest in peace. What a beautiful voice.
Mm-hmm. One of the best.
So they ended up making it to like the outskirts of his castle, and that's where like the Red Bull ends up showing up, as we all expected.
Right.
Or maybe I have too much foresight, but I'm assuming we're going to hit the Red Bull at some point, and he's going to be hard to overcome,
right? Because
obviously, if he has successfully drove every single other unicorn, I'm like, okay, he must be a force to be reckoned with. So now we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. We're like in this trench, and like
this poor fucking horse is being chased around.
Yeah, and she's like being like slowly, I would say, escorted towards the bank or whatever.
Funneled.
Yeah, exactly. So she's kind of like given up at this point, or what feels like that, because she's like has her head slung down, is like, oh, I guess I'll just go where he points me, and then this is where the whole Molly situation kind of pissed me off a little bit, was because like obviously our man Schmendrick doesn't have the most confidence in himself, even though he has magic inside of him.
Right.
And so like he's trying his best, and he's like, "Hey, I'm doing my best here," and she's like, "You gotta do something," and he's like, "I mean, okay," and so like he conjures up some spell, and he does something, which, by the way, may I say, kudos to him for having everyone yell at him to do something, and he actually does something. He transforms her into a woman. And of course, he's like, "Hey, I gave the free will up to the magic itself, and it created her as a woman. And guess what? The Red Bull is gone because the Red Bull is focused on unicorns and not women. So you know what? I think I may have fixed the situation." And what I tell you,
but now you got a new problem.
Well, again, for him, he has fixed the problem as of right there. But this is where both, and like this is where like I understand the gravity of the new problem at hand, but the ungratefulness that is then thrust upon Schmendrick is what pisses me off. I have now saved your life from the impending doom. Yes, we are in a new predicament, and I will now try to fix that predicament now. I'm sorry for doing that.
Forward, 2 steps back.
But it's this. But I wouldn't say that. Maybe, but like at this point in time, it's like there is this little bit of like there is no thank you. There's no nothing. There's just this like, I am a mortal woman now. I would have rather die. I would have rather died or have been kept locked up with the old crone. I'm like, okay, whoa.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm like, now, that's what she said. That's what she said.
I thought it was the Red Bull.
I
would have rather like the Red Bull.
I would have rather been killed by the Red Bull or have been trapped with Mama. What's her name? She says that. That's the part where it took me out. Where I was like Molly starts like yelling at him, being like, "Why did you do such a thing? Why'd you turn her into a woman?" He's like, "Hey man, I just tried to fix the situation. How about we all cool down?" And she's like, "Oh, woe is her. She's a woman now." And he's like, "Right, I gave the will up to magic, and magic made her into a woman, and now, yes, I messed up, and now let's try and figure out how to fix this. But also, we may be able to get one step closer to the place where you want to go. Maybe we could continue our quest if you would slow down and not cry about it." And then of course, that's what, like I said, what took me out was when the unicorn is like crying and weeping and is like, "I would have rather been stuck in a cage. I would have rather the bull kill me." And I was like, whoa, okay, slow down. If that's your case, then like I could just, Red Bull, come back, take her. She's apparently. So anyway, that's for me. It was like it's just this like there was so much emotion for it that I was like, everybody needs to chill out real quick because like we can move one step closer in the story if I'm zooming out and not looking at it internally. But like we can now proceed the story. But now I'm like, I would feel like as if I was Schmendrick, I'm like, well, let's not continue then. Like if you feel that way, then like I guess let's just curl up and die right there, and then that's just we're going to be left there to do that. I'm like, man. But at the same time, I know that, again, I'm understanding that I'm coming from a perspective of a human, and she's a unicorn experiencing mortality for the first time. But I just wish that like there would have been somebody on Schmendrick's side who's also like, "Hey, how about you? Let's stand up. Let's dry our tears. It's going to be okay. We're going to finish this quest." But it was like the only other human was like, "Oh my God, how dare you, Schmendrick, do this?" And he's like, "Man, what the hell, dude?" Okay, whatever. So that's the only thing that kind of got me where I was like, okay, now we're getting like the story got a bit weird. And that's where like there's so much emotion. We go into the castle, and then this is where like it kind of like plateaus out. I think intentionally because it's meant to like insinuate that she is slowly converting to a human, I'm sorry. And so she's like losing the magic, and that's like a whole thing. But like we don't get a whole lot of scenes. I think we get some, but like there's still this like, I don't know, it just feels like
the spot where her horn
is
supposed to be starts to fade. Her eyes lose the reflection of her forest. She's She's slowly just turning into a regular human.
Right. And you get all that in one scene with the king, but like there's a bunch of other like filler stuff. Like I feel like some of it does kind of play into it. There's a couple new like side characters we get. There's a laughing skeleton in the dungeon apparently that comes out of nowhere. Right. Yeah. So I think it is fun, and I do think it's trying to, I think, pad the movie out, because if you did shrink it down and kind of like hit some high notes, the movie would be very short, I think. So I think it does kind of stretch it out in a nice way. So I don't think it's all bad.
Right.
But it's just that, it was that one scene where I was like, man, you're really taking me out. It's really hard to like lock in right now when it's like, wow, I've never seen a bunch of, I don't know, anyways. So that's just a personal thing. Right. Maybe it's just a me thing. Maybe if I was a sorcerer who let the will of magic happen and something happened,
it's just like, the fact that it's so drastic as a situation you've inadvertently ended up with the worst possible alternative.
But you say that, but I don't think so.
You're no longer a unicorn. You are now mortal.
Right.
That's bad.
Right. But you're able to, again, I see what you're saying.
1 step forward, 2 steps back.
But I don't see it as 2 steps back. I think it's 1 step forward, 1 step back. Because, I mean, it's like, at least you can continue your quest to find the rest of your people. But that's the thing, is like, once she turns into a human, she goes into this, like, this state of, like, this, like, woe is me, and, like, loses all focus. And I think that also plays in, as the scene progresses, it plays into the fact that, like, she is turning into a woman. So, like, she's, like, losing the goal. But, like, the problem is, I feel like once she gets there, she's lost the goal. It's, like, and again, like I said, I know it's probably coming from this place of, like, she's so emotionally, like, hung up at it all. But it's, like, I don't know, man. It's hard for me, like, to bridge that gap between, like, yes, this is a very bad outcome, but there is a silver lining. You can go into the castle now and potentially, like, infiltrate from the inside. And maybe that's just a mortal man's perspective on this, but it's just like this. It's just this whole situation where it's like, and maybe I'm too jaded, knowing this is probably a children's movie, and there will be magic that will turn her back into a unicorn one day. If she was to change into a woman and there's nothing, and there's no magic to turn her back at all, then I could see the 2 steps back, where it's like,
that's what she thought.
Well,
that's what they all thought.
And maybe, but at the same time, if I have a little faith in Schmendrick, my man, if he can summon the will of magic to turn her into a woman, I had faith that he could do it again. Maybe not right now, but I had faith that he had it in him. And Molly said that in the end. She's like, what's his name? What's the prince's name?
Lear.
Prince Lear was like, you got the power inside of you. You could do it. And he's like, I can. And he did. So anyways, it's just that whole thing of like, I don't know, there's this whole like dissonance thing where it's like, I don't know, he had the magic to do it. He did it. And it's just this like, it stalls the movie in a way. And it's just like this like really sad, like, oh, woe is me, what am I supposed to do? And they make it into the castle. He trusts them. He kicks out the old wizard to make him the new one. I'm like, guys, things are kind of playing in our favor right now. And it's just like, oh, what am I to do? I'm like, you're right where you need to be. And maybe that's the point of the movie, is the underlying factors, like, stop and smell the roses. The potential's right in front of you. So stop whining about it and just like see that like the gift is given. Maybe that's one of them, but I don't know. I feel like the real. Do you want to know one thing? The one thing I took away from this movie. Do you want to know what what I think the what do you call it? Whenever like the moral of this story. Yeah. You want to know what I think the true moral of this story is?
What?
Don't let anyone else fight your battles for you. Whenever the going got tough, no one else was able to kill the Red Bull except for whenever the unicorn was like, hey,
I've got a fucking blade on my head.
Not only that, hey, quit beating up my friends and the guy that I quote unquote potentially loved, and then who apparently died, and then she was like, maybe I should fight, and then actually fought and did it, and I was like,
yep.
And then, of course, then it got me thinking, too. I was like, if she could do that, then why couldn't any of the other unicorns do it either? I'm like, at that point, it's like, if you fight your own battles for yourself, don't let anybody else fight your own battles. Even if his name is Schmendrick and he's actually a really great wizard, he just is a little bit who doesn't have the confidence in himself. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a Schmendrick stand. Maybe I am. I just think I had full faith that he was going to come through in the end, and he did.
Yeah.
And then not only that, he didn't get any of the credit for killing the Red Bull. It was all the unicorn when she was finally like, I guess I'll clock in now and start fighting. And I was like, come on, you could have done this in the trenches before we had the whole woman transformation debacle, but you didn't because you didn't see the. And so anyways, I know there's probably some development that took place as she's a woman, and
got to get some real courage to fight a big ass flaming bull.
Maybe, but.
Baby's ass. That's what happened.
No, right. But again, the loss of her entire race of unicorns wasn't enough to power her. It was this like pseudo love relationship, and it was the loss of that did it. And I think that's also what kind of got me. I was like, ugh. Don't tell me the unicorn that's like this immortal being is going to turn into a woman and then fall in love with the prince. And of course, that's what happened. And I was like, son of a bitch.
He fell in love with her first.
Right. But then he swindled her into loving him. And then she was like...
As if it was a trick.
Well, he did. I mean... She wouldn't give him the time of day, and then all of a sudden he wrote a little poem and then sung her a song, and they made out, and then all of a sudden she's like, I love you forever. And I was like, oh my God, come on. Maybe that's just a me thing, but I was like, and again, maybe that's another one of those things where like there's more time that passes in the castle than I'm privy to.
They don't give us a specific time frame for how long they're there.
Right. All these scenes happen.
Enough time for this fucking prince to slay a dragon as well as multiple other creatures to try and gain her favor.
For us to see like a pirate cat that can talk. Yeah. And Molly's like, oh, this again? Like, again? This is the first time he's talking.
When did it start?
And so, and I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that, like, I think it's also based off of a book. So, like, maybe the book goes into more elaborate detail that I'm not privy to in this film.
Perhaps.
The film was only an hour and a half. So, like, if it was drawn out in some ways, it probably could have felt boring. Maybe an hour and a half was the perfect amount. Yeah. So I'm not criticizing it. Like I said, I still really enjoyed the film. I thought it was fun. There's just there's this weird like in between Act 2, Act 3 conclusion that takes place. It kind of like it just kind of peters out in this kind of like weird limbo state, and then we kind of like get some development, and then like but then the development we do get kind of just. It doesn't really go a whole lot of places until all of a sudden it does, and then we're fighting, and then whoa,
right?
You know,
at one point they're debating on what to do.
Yeah,
now that they're at like the precipice.
Yeah,
because at this point she's just about like fully human and wants to remain that way.
Yes,
and live with the prince. But he's like, nah, go back to your horse life.
Yeah, and of course
it's what you need to do.
And this is the thing that also kind of I don't want to say pisses me off, but like this is the part that also kind of irks me is like we're in this liminal space, this tunnel between worlds of like the stasis area of the Red Bull and like the real world. And there's this like whole thing where she's like, I don't want to be a unicorn. I don't want to do this. Woe is me. And I'm like,
she's just about lost her memory.
Of course, right. And I get that
previous life.
But it's just like I'm removing myself as Ian and I'm inserting myself as Schmendrick.
Right.
And I'm sitting here, I'm like,
pretend you're her though,
but nary a fortnight ago. And I don't want to get the word Molly.
Get some more perspective.
Maybe I can get perspective for the unicorn, but again, I'm a Schmendrick stan. So like, you better believe the second
I'm a Schmed.
And the second I'd be standing there, I was like, not nary a fortnight ago. You were like, I can't please kill me. I'm a woman, and now you're complaining about not wanting to go back. I know there's some magic stuff going on and all that kind of stuff, but at the same time, like. No, we're gonna do this, and like you can't.
Didn't come all this way for nothing.
Right. But the part that like the one that really took me out that I think is more funny than anything else because I think it sums up this character Molly is like is at the very end whenever the whole fight takes place. There's this whole debate going on about everyone, no one can do anything except to pin it all on Schmendrick. So he's standing here and he's like, everyone's like, we'll do something, right. And he's like, I'm sorry, he didn't say this, but this is what I would say as Schmendrick. The last time I did something, everyone got pissed off about it because I turned the unicorn into a woman. God forbid a wizard try to do something around here or not try to do anything, and everyone's like, do something, wizard. How about you do something about it? No. Everyone has to come look at me now. And of course, he's like, hey, I can't do nothing. Magic's not going to fix this problem, but a hero would.
Right.
And then the prince is like...
Lear leaps into action.
Instantly killed. I'm like, what? Excuse me?
I'm sure to avoid, cut down on the graphic violence that being gored by a giant flaming 100%. Bull would
it is
entail.
It's a G-rated film, so no blood.
We see just before.
I'm surprised because of that tree.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Tree. We'll get to the tree.
We'll touch on that later. Holy fuck.
No, we won't touch on it. No. I'm not touching that. No. Yeah, but anyways, there's this moment where, obviously, Lear is now dead. The bull has the unicorn. Has what is her human name? Amathia,
I think.
Amathia. I think it's Amathia. Anyways. Has her pinned
on the shoreline.
Right. And then he's like, and then of course she
sees him lying on the ground.
Yeah.
And immediately is like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Horn starts to glow.
No. But before that, before she gets turned into a unicorn, Schmendrick is panicking, and he's like, and then of course, I think it was either him or I think it was probably Molly says something, or he says something about having the magic within him, and he's like, you know what, I do have it, and he tries his best, and he summons up all his magic, and he's saying all the words, and he's getting ready to cast this spell, and then Molly's like, do something, Schmendrick, and he's like, and I was like, that would have taken me out. I would have been like, how about you shut the fuck up while I try to cast this magic spell? Damn. I can't sit here and cast magic for 1 second. I can't cast magic. I can't not cast magic without this over here going do something. What does it look like I'm doing, Molly? My God. And he casts the magic and she turns into a unicorn. And I was like, I knew it. Schmendrick once again saves the day. But not before
great duress.
Yeah, but not before the unicorn. But not for Amathia or whatever has her moment of maybe I should fight my own battles, and of course kills.
About to gore this motherfucker.
Yeah, and that's it. And man,
forces that red bitch into the ocean.
Yeah,
thus freeing the rest of her species.
Yes. And they all lived happily ever after? Except for the unicorn, which is now sad forever. But I don't know.
She's experienced regret.
Yes.
As well as sadness.
Yes.
Meaning she will now be different from the rest of her peers.
Yes.
But she's still thankful.
Yes.
That she's alive.
Exactly. The gratitude, if you will, that I had been requesting once upon a time, but we get it now. Mm-hmm. And it comes with Schmendrick being like, I'm so sorry I put you through this. Or he's apologizing. I was like, don't apologize.
I've done a great evil. And I fucking love that line, dude. That was so good.
I don't know, man. This is also a core belief of my human being. As me, as a person. You can't really appreciate being completely healthy without being a little sick sometimes. You can't appreciate having some money whenever you have gone through a season of oh man, I'm a little tight on funds right now. There's this give and take in life. A lot of times sometimes it just takes a little bit of darkness, a little bit of opposition to realize, you know what, I think what I do have is I am grateful for what I do have.
Right.
And so maybe that's just, again, my jaded human perspective. But
as humans, that applies.
I know. But I'm talking about a storybook. And so there is this perfect individual, this immortal unicorn that has now tasted of mortality and sadness and regret, and has now been reascended to that position and is now different for it. Mm. And I think for me, as a human, I would look at that and say, wow, I have always had that and maybe have taken it for granted, but now that I have experienced the lack of that and almost the complete loss of it, now having it again makes me a more complex individual to now look at this and say, I'm grateful for being immortal. I'm grateful for being able to keep all these woodland creatures alive with this magical force that I have around me, that I can keep this forest in eternal spring.
Right.
I may have taken that for granted, but now that I have gone without that, I now can appreciate that much more. And if my peers don't get it, that's okay. I do.
Right.
I can now breathe in a little bit more air and say, the air tastes a little better now because I used to know what it was like to know mortality.
Right.
And I won't have to worry about that ever again. But that's not what the movie does. The movie is like, I'm sorry that I put this great distress on you, and I have tainted you in this way. And she's like, it's okay, but it's not. My people will never understand, and I will forever be different. And it's like, it's almost stigmatized, the fact that she is like grown and developed as a character. And I was like, don't apologize for that. You are better for having gone through that hardship, that struggle, that rock bottom in your life, and having gone out of it.
Right.
That's the way I was looking at it. And the fact that they were like, I was like, don't.
It's a net positive, like on the whole, like from that human perspective, but from the lens of like looking at a unicorn, this mythical, like pure creature.
Yes.
That is considered sacred in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
To be defiled in that way is a crime to some folk.
Okay.
It's that like way that you got to think about it.
Right, and I get that.
Like, I'm sorry you had to go through that. I wish it didn't happen.
But it
I'm
did.
glad you're okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe I misread the situation, but that's not what I heard. I'm sorry that I put you through that, but you're okay now. It was like I'm forever changed, and I won't go back.
I hope you can forgive me for the bumps in the road.
Right. But it was just this, like I said, it ended on this kind of like somber note of like, I will never be the same. I'm forever changed, and period. And there was no like, but there's a silver lining. But there's like, but I'm better off because of it, or what? Like I said, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where I feel like it didn't land for me. Where I was like, yes. You inadvertently tainted this pure mythical creature, but she is now back to her old self through your magic, intentionally. You learn this. I don't know. That's why I get kind of confused. Where I was like, I don't know, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Yes, I would apologize for inadvertently forcing you into the mortal realm. But at the same time, I also got better as I'm as you can tell, I'm personifying Schmendrick here.
Yeah.
I also overcame the flaws in myself and my shortcomings, and the fact that I don't think that I could be good enough as a sorcerer, and I turned you back. Not only are you back to the way you were, I got to right my wrong.
It's a miracle.
Yes, I'm sorry that I put you through that, but I also overcame myself to get you back there. I don't know. Yeah. This is where I would say I'm sorry for that, but at the same time, you're welcome for being back into the right space that you are. I don't know. That's where I get.
Yeah, and maybe she thanked him.
Yeah, well, maybe, but like I said, at the end, it didn't feel like it. Like I said, I may need to rewatch the ending scene because it felt like a very sad, somber, like I'm different now, and that's not okay. The end, and I was like, oh well, okay. And like I said, maybe they were focusing much more on the fact that he was apologizing, and that's okay. But like I said, to circle back around to that first point that I made, I would have liked to seen the unicorn say like, I accept your apology for forcing me into the mortal world, but also know that I'm also better for it. Maybe a unicorn, maybe the perfect example isn't worth it like that, but I feel like that's the moral of the story I would have liked to see. Is like, you can go through hard shit, you can go through your rock bottom. You inadvertently, other people in your life could force you down into a situation you don't want to be in. But with work and with persistence and with seeing your value and tying it back into what I think the real moral of the story is not having someone else fight your battles for you, but looking your battles in the face and fighting it yourself, you can get yourself out of that circumstance. And then you can look back on it and go, and again, maybe, like I said, I'm personifying this too much because I did something like that for myself. I got myself into a bad situation when I moved out of the country. I was in a bad financial spot. other people around me kind of put me in an even harder spot that I was in, but through diligence and through financial planning and like getting myself out of a shitty situation and around friends and family again, I was able to pull myself out of it and go, I am back to where I was before, if not better. And I can look back at that and go, I wouldn't have, I don't want to go back to doing that again, but I'm better off having gone through that stuff and got myself out of it and gone. I now have perspective to say, I'm so grateful for having friends and family in my life that love me, for having financial stability, so that maybe I'm putting this story too much in my own eyes and my own personal things.
Putting a lot of personal experience.
Right. But I was looking at this thing and I was like, you went through so much. You literally went through mortality and then back into immortality.
See, this is how I know this shit's good, is when it.
When it works. We've
had more than a few. Like we've had shows and movies like this. That have touched on this stuff, and it's always like some of the best fucking episodes.
It's great. It's great.
The roster.
But that's why I always preface. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. It is a beautiful movie, in so many different artistic regards. There's just some little things that I was like, oh, maybe that's a creative decision on the movie side. Maybe the book ends differently. I've never read the book. Who knows?
Yeah,
Excuse me. So I don't know. That's just that. Again, when it all ended, I'm not to say I thought it was a bad ending. I was just like, oh, there's like I don't know.
Right.
I think it would have, for me, it would have stuck a little bit better if the unicorn was like, I accept your apology, but just know that like I also thank you for giving me a taste of what humans really go through. So now I have some empathy for what you go through, for what you see, for whatever. And so now I can appreciate the fleeting life of a human, or something like that, or some sort of bridging of the gap. It's
not like verbatim. I feel like you'd be able to draw that conclusion.
Right. And again, this is only my first watch through, so I could probably watch it again, and I get just like with anything, any book, music, film, TV show, you watch it again, you pick out little things you don't see.
Let it simmer.
Exactly. So I may watch this 3 or 4 more times, and I'll be singing a different tune. But on my first watch through of it,
first impressions.
That's
it's a good
one. Yeah. But to circle back around, do you want to go ahead and tell him what you were talking about with the tree?
Oh my God. Holy shit.
Well,
okay. So before you continue, I'm sorry. What is the line that the two goons say? There's
plenty of goons that
the two head goon guys. They proceed to hold on. Let me back up a little bit. Schmendrick does the illusion of Robin Hood, all the what do he call them? The freemen, his freemen, the merry men all go running away. Even his lady Molly goes and runs away.
Yeah.
And then the two goons that are left, like the head goon and his henchman guy, they drag
something.
Yeah, I don't know. They drag him off to a tree and they rope him up to it, like hugging the tree, like bear hugging the tree.
Mm-hmm.
They wrap him around his
hugging too.
Yeah.
We've all
Mm-hmm.
So lumpy tree.
We've all seen some weird trees.
Yes. Well, and we're getting there. But they proceed to they tie him around his waist to the tree, and then of course they rope both of his wrists together around like the circumference of the trunk, or whatever you want to call that. But then they make a comment and leave about like we're gonna leave you here, and then we're gonna be men of pleasure and
sell you off.
Is that what they said?
They said something about him being worth something.
Okay.
So I'm thinking they were gonna find whoever authority figure is apt to pass judgment and or pay them for whatever he may be worth.
I think I missed a joke because they say like, I think they said they're going to sell him off or something, but as they walk away, they're like, and we're going to be men of pleasure in 2 days or whatever, or something along those lines. And I was like, I don't get it. Whatever.
They're also eating like drinking rat soup.
Oh God,
3-day rat soup.
Yeah.
So
Nasty.
you could at least use a different
that's
rat.
pink.
Gross. Ugh.
Yeah.
What? Continue. What does he do next?
Well,
What happens to him next?
he tries casting his spell to get untied, and he makes the tree come alive, and it turns into a very large, boobed
A very
tree
well-endowed
woman, and she's saying she loves him. And
Yeah. His head is in between her bosom, and she's
he's
like,
stuck.
"Ooh, I love you." And of course, he's obviously tied. He's tied to this tree.
Right.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
I'm engaged to a Douglas fir. Oh my God.
Oh no.
That came out of fucking nowhere.
Oh, yeah. Somebody animated that scene, and they're like, "This one's for me."
This is it.
I was like, "Okay, buddy."
Yuck.
Yuck. And not the tree.
And then the last unicorn comes prancing and
Thankfully frees
yeah.
the
Helps
poor
him.
bastard.
what is the tree? The tree says, "You can't have him. He's
We'll
mine."
die together.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
holy shit.
And in true fashion, she just touches her horn on anything, and everything falls away.
Right. Breaks them ropes, and he's free.
Yep. And the tree goes back to being a regular tree and not a tree woman.
Right.
And just as quickly as she arrived, the tree woman is gone. And I was like, what a awkward
Easy
scenario.
come, easy go.
The same the same thing can be said about Mommy Fortuna.
Mm-hmm.
There's this like witch character that I thought that she was going to play more into like the film, and again, just as quickly as I feel like she arrived, she's being eaten by a harpy, and I'm like, my God.
Yeah.
I kind of like that though.
Yeah,
like
same.
all the characters,
Yeah,
they have a place in time.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this also plays. I've had this same feeling about movies. I'm sorry. I've had the same feeling about books turned into movies.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times
adaptations.
they have these like milestone marks that happen really quick. These characters that come in and leave, these kind of like moments where, like we've talked about on this show specifically, we've talked about movie adaptations of books that feel like they move fast.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're trying to hit all these like big chapter marks, but you only have so much time to do it. So you got to like trim out a lot of the fat.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's not in a bad way, especially not for this film, but I feel like some of that takes place.
Definitely hard to do.
Right, where I feel like this whole like Mommy Fortuna scene could have really been like stretched out across a couple of chapters in a book.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, it's only probably like 10, 15 minutes in the movie in the grand scheme of things. Just like I had said before with like the whole situation with the castle stuff, I think there may be more you could dig in there and have some fun with it. And
I remember feeling the same way whenever I was reading The Hobbit for the first time.
yeah,
Like, I of course I had seen the movies at that point before I actually read the book, but as I was reading it, I was remembering the scenes in the film and how much longer they feel in the book as opposed to watching them on the movie.
Yeah.
But that forest scene where they're trying to get through all those fucking spiders.
Oh gosh, dude.
And
so good.
But yeah, another thing I was surprised about, this is a bit of a tangent, but all the songs that are in The Hobbit, like the book.
Yeah. They're great.
Yeah, I fucking love that shit.
Have you listened to Andy Serkis's
I haven't.
audiobook
The
of it?
audiobook? No, I haven't.
It's on.
I really want to though.
Anybody that has Spotify Premium, they have The Hobbit narrated by Andy Serkis.
I gotta fucking listen
Dude,
to that, man.
I listened
Holy
to
shit.
it. I listened to it. It's probably been like,
It was a while ago you told me about it.
yes, I want to say it was like the beginning of the year, probably like 9 months ago, or
Mhm.
or a little more than that.
Yeah.
Was when I listened to it, and I listened to it because I started reading it again, and like I read the first few chapters, and then I went ahead and just listened to Andy Serkis's rendition of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
damn, that's good.
Yeah, it is, and he sings a lot of the songs, and he does he does some stuff. But of course, the chapter where Smeagol comes up,
Oh,
the chapter where Gollum is present and the whole riddle situation.
Oh yeah,
dude. I mean, obviously, I'm locked in throughout the whole audiobook, but there's that moment whenever they're in there and the whole dialogue back and forth, and he locks into that voice. I was like, dude, I was like, oh, I'm in. I'm so in. This is it, dude.
This is the moment I've been waiting for.
Yes, it's so good. But yeah.
Man.
I definitely recommend it. If anybody,
for sure.
If anybody hasn't listened to it yet, I would definitely. Again, with premium, I think you get like 15 hours of audiobook listening time a month, and I think it's like I mean, The Hobbit's not a super long book, so I think it's only a couple hours. I say couple. It's probably like, I don't remember. I don't want to lie, but anyways,
I remember I found a YouTube video a while back that was like the first chapter of one of the Halo novels, read by Steve Downes.
Whoa.
The Master Chief.
Yeah.
And man, that was something else. I need full narrations.
That's got to
What would be even better is if they got Keith David to do one.
Okay.
For the fucking Arbiter.
You're right.
Man.
We can probably which one was that one? What was the one you listened to?
Oh, it might have been
because I know I looked for this online.
Right. It had to do with Reach, but I can't remember what the title of the book was. It's been so long.
Let's see.
Maybe Ghosts of Reach.
The Fall of Reach?
No, that's the first book.
Let's see.
I remember it being one of the newer ones.
Let me try it.
With like an orange cover with a picture of Blue Team on it.
Shadows of Reach.
That, I believe, was it. Let me see.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's the one.
It says that it is narrated by Sean Patrick Hopkins.
Damn.
On
shit,
Spotify.
That might have only been on YouTube then.
Maybe.
Whack.
Or again, there may be different versions of it. This is the one that's included with Spotify Premium. So there may be other ones that you may have to pay more for or something. Some of the more specific ones or catered ones are not included with Premium. But the ones that are, obviously, are. So.
Wowie.
Yeah, wowie. It says this one is 13 hours and 36 minutes. So to be honest, you could listen to it in its entirety.
Yeah, I could stretch that out over a couple days.
Right.
Or I could go insane and binge it.
Yeah.
Let that be the only thing I hear for the day.
Yeah.
Man.
How fun. Wow.
Yeah. This is a good one.
Yeah. What a fun time, dude.
Mm-hmm. I love old movies like this. I need to find more.
Like I had said before, the animation on this is different. I haven't watched the old animations for The Hobbit like this. I've never seen those, and I want to watch them so bad.
We're gonna have to at some point.
Didn't they do one for the Lord of the Rings as well, or is it just The Hobbit they did this for?
I'm pretty sure it was just The Hobbit. No.
At least that's what I think, but I also don't know.
I remember seeing scenes from both, but I'm not sure.
Let's see.
Let's find out. One freak-ass looking hobbit to rule them all.
It was Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
1978.
Holy shit.
And it looks like it's only one of them.
Just remember where there's a whip, there's a way. For the fucking goblins. Oh, man.
So, I have some fun facts here if you guys want to listen to a couple of these for The Last Unicorn.
I beg.
The Last Unicorn was based on a book by Peter S. Beagle, who also wrote the screenplay. So,
damn.
Yeah.
Tried his hand at that as far as adapting it, I guess.
Published his first novel, The Last Unicorn, in 1968, and also insisted on writing the screenplay when it was optioned for film. That resolution came from another novelist. Might have made film executives a little apprehensive. But here, this is interesting. But it wasn't Beagle's first time at screenwriting radio, or at the screenwriting rodeo. He also written the screenplay for Ralph Bakshi's 1978 film adaptation of Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
So he also did the screenplay for that film.
Damn.
That's a lot of fun.
That's funny.
I had the horrors about who else it might do it, is what he said. I never felt I had a choice whether I particularly wanted to do the screenplay or not.
Had to be him.
Yep. The Last Unicorn was originally intended for adult audiences. It says that
I might have guessed.
It's not just the Red Bull. No, I don't want to read all this.
Oh, okay.
Some of it's yeah.
Pick out the really good bits.
Yeah.
Did he fuck the tree or not?
No. The Last Unicorn seem like a questionable film to show young impressionable children. They're also a rather scarring scene in which lascivious old tree holds Schmendrick captive in her ample bosom.
Yep.
Not to mention that most of the music was performed by the legendary 70s folk rock band America. Not quite kindergarten favorites. Overall, the adult tone is much less odd when you consider it was at least initially intended for adults.
Man.
It was originally marketed as an adult musical fantasy adventure, and also mentioned but then it ended up changing its motive and all that kind of stuff.
That was a close call.
The creators of the
leaving the tree.
Leaving the tree.
Oh, man.
The creators of the Peanuts TV special wanted to make this film.
Huh.
The producers behind Charlie Brown, and many other of the Peanuts TV specials were very interested in adapting the novel to film, though nothing ever came of it. By Beagle's own account, one of their partner's wives pulled him aside at a gathering and earnestly cautioned him against entrusting the project to them.
Don't fucking do it.
She said, "Don't let us." Oh no! Wait. Oh, he says, "Don't let them do it. They're not good enough."
Damn.
Beagle recalled warning him. That's crazy.
Wow.
Nobody turned down the opportunity to be cast in The Last Unicorn. Eventually, they started doing a bunch of casting for it, and every single person that they had in mind agreed.
Sir Christopher Lee.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
Does a phenomenal job, as always.
Jeff Bridges personally asked for the role and even said he worked for free.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Must have really liked that book.
Probably.
Man.
Prince Lear has a happier ending in the book version of The Last Unicorn.
Really?
In the film, Prince Lear leaves the kingdom to forge a new life for himself after losing just about everything. His adopted father has died. The castle he should have inherited has crumbled into the sea. And his beloved Amalthea has transformed back into a unicorn. In the original novel, however, Lear remains to rebuild the kingdom, and he even gets a second chance at love when Schmendrick and Molly happen upon a troubled princess, fully human this time, during their journey.
No risk of that.
They send her Lear's way.
Nice.
How nice.
What luck.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Here's a bow for you.
Get out.
What?
The Last Unicorn was animated by the studio that would later become Studio Ghibli.
Hell right.
Dude,
holy shit.
What?
Ain't no fucking way. That's rad.
Though the original storyboards for The Last Unicorns were created in the U.S., Rankin/Bass outsourced the film's actual animation to the experts at Topcraft, a Japanese animation studio with whom they had already collaborated with on The Hobbit.
That is insane.
Bruh, get out. and many other productions throughout the 1970s.
Small fucking world.
When Topcraft folded a few years later, the company was bought by Hayao Miyazaki, Isao Takahata, and Toshio Suzuki, who built it as Studio Ghibli, and went on to release some of the most celebrated animated features of all time, including 2001's Spirited Away and 2004's Howl's Moving Castle.
Amazing.
Dude!
That's some fucking trivia right there.
That's trivia right there. That's insane.
Wow. Yeah, that's going to be a deep pull later. Holy shit.
Christopher Lee also played King Hagrid in the German version of The Last Unicorn.
Oh, yeah. That motherfucker was fluent.
Yeah, dude. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Man, speaking of speak,
yeah,
I think a lot of the lines in this movie really stuck with me. One of which being after Mommy... What's her name?
Fortuna.
Mommy Fortuna gets eaten by the harpy. The unicorn is like urging Schmendrick to run, to just walk away.
Yeah.
If you run from something immortal, it draws its attention.
Yeah.
That's shit.
That's terrifying.
Fuck, man.
The second she said that, and of course, like whenever they just walk, okay. That's terrifying.
Like, that's fucking cool.
It says that Art Garfunkel and Kitty Loggins have both covered songs from the Last Unicorn soundtrack.
Damn.
That's crazy.
That's good stuff.
And also, they wanted to have an adaptation of The Last Unicorn for Broadway.
Oh, wow.
In 2015, Playbill announced that the Black Eyed Peas Fergie, a childhood fanatic of the film, was planning to bring The Last Unicorn to Broadway.
Huh. Damn.
Wow, okay.
This must be a really good fucking book for it to garner that much attention.
I think that it was also, she did it with her then husband, Josh. There hasn't been any news of it since, and considering that Fergie has split up with her husband in 2017, it's probably safe to say the project is on hold. Unfortunate, but hey.
It is what it is.
Yeah. That's all the facts I had. Just to round out the end of the show. We haven't done
a fucking round,
I was going to say, we haven't done a little bit. We haven't done a little facts section at the end of the show in a while, so that's fun. What a cool film.
Yeah, dude.
That's great. You actually mentioned at the top of the episode about the Japanese studio. And you were like, yeah, no, I could tell it was a really good Japanese animation studio.
I knew.
Not the Japanese animation studio.
One that I was intimately familiar with.
Exactly. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were chill like that. Right. I didn't know you had your game.
I was unfamiliar with your game.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's funny.
That's insane.
All right. Well, for those of you trying to, find us, how to get involved, all that kind of stuff, you can go onto youtube.com/Hindsight Studios. I almost said the wrong thing. Or you can look up The Aftermath on all the major podcasting platforms, and you can find us there. We got comment sections on Spotify and YouTube. I always check those out, and I'm interested to see what you guys think. Have you seen this movie? Do you also have the same...
Are you a Schmendrick?
Are you a Schmendrick stan like I am? Are you like Maya, and do you ship Schmendrick and Molly? Because Lord knows I don't. But that's just... I'm joking. Everyone deserves happiness.
He did call her beautiful.
When?
So, called her beautiful.
Whenever they first met.
Yeah, but she was with...
Yeah, the goon.
Redhead dude.
Interesting.
The mustache twirler.
Okay, you're right. I do remember that. Yeah, he was risen up right at the beginning.
Right.
Maybe Schmendrick does have some game. I'm sorry. I didn't recognize your game, Schmendrick. And until next week, thank you so much for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.